This happened to me back when I was 15 at my overnight summer camp. My friend and I have told very few people about this, and no one knows what to make of it. We were part of a counselor and training program that put us working at different activities or cabins in order for us to learn how to be staff. During my 3rd week, I was placed on a cabin of 12 to 13-year-olds, while a good friend of mine was placed on 8 to 9-year-olds. During my week on this cabin, one of the actual staff was fired for a bad reason, but it had to be done. Basically, he was supposed to be on night duty, and a girl got sick. And even though her counselors were in the cabin at the time, he got in trouble for not being there because he left 10 minutes early. At this time, another one of the 3 original staff had to be in the city for a family event and had a few days off. This left one counselor and myself watching 16 kids. On Saturday nights, we had staff meetings that were mandatory. My unit head and the camp director said that I could have the day off from working if I spent a night in the cabin with the kids, since the staff won't be there. I was told I could bring a friend who would also get a day off the following Monday. We would be with the kids until about 2 a.m. because the staff could sleep in the next day, and these meetings ran late. So my previously mentioned friend and I ate with the cabin, took them to the evening program, and then got them into the cabin at curfew. They didn't have to go to bed, but they had to stay in the cabin and be quiet. Before we went to bed, the older counselor in trainings at the campfire on night duty needed help starting a fire. I was pretty good at this, so I helped them build it properly. It was a very dry week, so you'd expect for the wood to catch pretty quickly, but for some reason it didn't. The lighter wouldn't even burn the kindling at the bottom. But since it was such a nice night, they decided to go without the fire. Around 11, the boys all fell asleep, which was rather unusual for boys who enjoyed staying up late. My friend and I stayed in the counselor's cube playing cards until it was time for us to get some sleep. Around midnight, it started getting very cold, but by then the counselors in training at the campfire had left. Half an hour later, we were both still awake when it started. At first, I thought that it was the wind and the trees, but then I realized it was whispers coming from the cabin. I got out of bed to go quiet down to the camper, but as I checked each camper, I realized that they were all whispering. The part that freaked me out was that they were all fast asleep. My friend came out to investigate as well, and it took us a few minutes to really hear what they were whispering. Not in unison, but in a round. They were whispering, "It's coming, it's coming, it's coming." This is when we got really scared. We tried to wake them up by dropping things so it looked like we accidentally woke them up, but nothing worked and the whispering continued. After about 5 minutes of us panicking, all the boys woke up in a cold sweat, staring at our frightened faces. We didn't want to tell them what happened, so they wouldn't be scared. We didn't sleep that night, but the boys did, and we didn't hear any more noises. The next morning, when we went for breakfast, I asked if anyone had any dreams, which I usually do to start a conversation. One boy started saying that he had a dream of something in the woods that he couldn't see, but he felt getting closer and closer to the cabin. As soon as the thing touched the door handle, he jolted awake. The table went quiet as a few other boys spoke up, saying that they had a very similar dream.